grief journey over losing is in various stages, but one thing is increasingly clear. They radically misjudged what women, because women are not a monolithic group, care about. A point Megyn Kelly and I talked about last night. Chris Steyerwald always points out that there is not a gender gap, there is a marriage gap. Married women, 51-48 Trump. Unmarried women, Trump 38, Harris 59. Massive spread in terms of who won the married versus unmarried women vote. Is that what Democrats didn't understand, is that for married women, mostly who will have children, that there were issues like immigration and the threat to their families, the price of groceries, their kids in libraries and what they're reading, their girls in sports, their boys and what they can say in class that were more important than abortion?
Absolutely right, Leland. Well said. And I think, the boys' point has been so upsetting to me personally, in that I have a daughter who's in girls' sports. She's only 13, and I have two boys too. And I do not believe that her rights in elevating her and empowering her must come at the expense of my boys.
With us now, Caroline Downey, staff writer at National Review, Carly Cooperman, Democratic pollster and strategist. Nice to see you both. Welcome, ladies. Thank you. Carly, did Democrats overestimate what and the effect abortion at all, reproductive rights, would have on driving the married female vote?
I think we know that abortion rights is important to women, but in this election for women voters, just like the electorate overall, the cost of living was the most important issue to these women. We saw that in poll after poll, and when we saw it in the exit polls, looking at the data that came out of the election too. And so while abortion rights is important to these women, at the end of the day, Kamala Harris was able to make inroads on the deficit that she had against Trump in terms of who was going to address the economy more. But the entire time, Trump has led on who is trusted more on the economy. And this is what drove women to not give Harris enough of a victory to actually win this election for her. She was up by 7 points, but it wasn't as much as Biden won women in 2020.
Caroline, is there a shift back towards traditional values for a certain group of women who may have been anti-Trump in 2017, didn't necessarily like the mean tweets, but now for some reason are more willing to go in on the MAGA agenda?
Well, we know that Trump made significant inroads actually with Gen Z women. He gained them by 7%. Why? And Kamala Harris lost them by 7%. Why? I think it's because despite the college campus indoctrination chamber, despite abortion looming very large, when you ask, culture podcasters like Call Her Daddy's Alex Cooper, I think a lot of these women are very unhappy, and the mental health data backs that up, Leland. And so the natural conclusion is that whatever progressives are telling young women isn't working. And so I think that's why we saw some Gen Z women defect from Kamala Harris, whereas even Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton had more women than Kamala Harris this time around. And that really tells you something, because they're blaming the boogeymen once again of misogyny and sexism. Males weren't ready for the first female president. Well, it turns out a lot of women weren't ready for this to be their first female president.
Yeah. Or maybe, and I got 15 seconds, so I maybe say this, or maybe the fact that she was female didn't matter nearly as much as what she stood for, which may be another point, just in terms of how people vote. Ladies, thank you very much. Appreciated both of you being here. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.